Excellent work here, Jacqueline. It was really great to get a look at your stroke. So good to see how quickly you have picked up your swim. Really great to see that powerful kick as well. Flexibility and range of movement here is incredible, and once we get on top of a few of the focus points here, we can see great advantages carrying over into your swimming. The first thing we'll talk about is your posture in the water. The main item we want to get on top of is getting your spine into a position that is more neutral and horizontal in the water. This will give you a greater opportunity to roll rather than twist. More on this movement a little later. We can see in this position there is a large curve in your lower back, and as you enter the water you twist through this section, dropping really low. So what we will work on in this phase is dropping the eye line and trying to pull your chin in towards your neck. This motion moves your head into a position that aligns your spine. Please don't just tuck your head by dropping your chin towards your chest, as this will create a lot more issues in your posture, not to mention the drag associated with this. So let's go back to entry into catch phase, and we can see that the initial drop in the lower spine as you enter the water is not in a vertical plane, meaning as you push down, it is forcing you to move your hips laterally, pushing you out wide. This movement is causing your hands to push across your center line and intensifying this twisting movement. It's only that propulsive kick that drives you back onto the opposite side to stabilize your body. We're starting to lift that lower back by adjusting that head position. We should be able to get into a position that will give you the ability to roll more on an axis rather than twist. We want to imagine that there is an axis running from the tip of your head through to the center of your hips. This is where you can rotate from. When you do something that affects this rotation plane, there is a counterbalance move to correct your body and stabilize. Once we can roll through the hips without twisting laterally, we'll see this hand entry over the center line and legs drifting out the back correct itself. Okay, let's now have a look at the entry on the right side. The first thing we'll talk about here is the low elbow as you enter the water. We can see as you move from entry into catch phase, the first movement you do is drop your elbow. It stays in this low position until your arm is directly under your shoulder. We can also see that you're nearly fully extended in this position, and this movement is all coming from the shoulder. When you're in this extended position, it is extremely forceful on the shoulder to initiate the pull. If we go back to the entry phase, we can see very early in your catch here, your shoulder drops down in the water, leaving a large gap between the side of your head, causing a large amount of resistance. Because you're dropping that shoulder and pulling with a straight arm, your body is dropping in the water. And this is right as you're taking a breath on that left side. We really want to start your stroke by holding your elbow higher in the water and initiating with fingers and palms down. This higher elbow position is also going to protect that shoulder from rolling down as you start your stroke. Once we get back to that same position under your shoulder that was fully extended, we should now be sitting with your arm being bent at the elbow at around 90 degrees. This will give you a greater hold of the water and build up momentum rather than forcing everything onto your shoulder as you engage your pull. It will be a lot easier to recruit a few of those larger muscle groups and generate a little bit more power to push out the back of your stroke. The next thing we'll talk about is the width of your left arm. When you move from entry into catch phase, we can see similar actions to the right side as you drop your shoulder and lead with the straight arm. The only difference with this side is that you push your arm out wide. This does keep your shoulder up a little bit higher, but it does push out your opposite hip, and from this position, it's very forceful on the shoulder. Let's really work on bringing that catch in a bit and try and get that elbow bend to 90 degrees, forcing greater hold of the water. The next thing we'll touch on is your hand positions through your stroke. So throughout your stroke phase, there are various points where your hands are leading away from your body. This is always going to create that lengthening, extending away from your body, furthermore creating that twisting motion. Really try and focus on holding the palm of your hand towards the bottom of the pull on entry phase, and as you move to that setup phase, we want to be moving it from there into a position that is facing the direction you've just traveled from. This is where we're going to get a good hold of the water. So from here, let's spend some time working on getting that posture under control by using a few stabilizing kicking drills before we go into isolating the catch to set up phase on both sides. Those new DMC flippers will be a crucial tool for this. Really great work, Jacqueline. You'll be swimming with a lot more control and speed really soon. Keep up the great work.